So what did you think of the Little Mermaid Room?
I thought the rooms were a good size. The theming was really cute. Lots of mermaid stuff, as you can imagine. There was a big octopus on the wall on one side. There was I think a seashell mirror. Is that right? To have seashells on it?
Yeah.
The carpet, the bedspread. I mean, it was just full on Little Mermaid. And it was double beds, which felt very small, but made the room feel bigger. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah. The dynamic in this room is different from coming from Pop Century.
Let's go ahead and compare the two because it's just, It's
so Pop Century was refurb rooms. Mm-hmm. The theming was something that stuck out. So Art of Animation is like the older, what we're used to Disney theming, which is basically like Little Mermaid Room, which equals we're going to take Little Mermaid and we're going to throw it up all over the walls. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that's bad, but I'm just saying that's what the room is. I mean, there's like a Prince Eric mural on the wall. There's the seashell mirror. There's
Sebastian behind you.
Right. There's the chairs are even shaped like, I think, seashells. Mm-hmm. The table has a bunch of stuff on it. So like it's just Little Mermaid all over the place. Mm-hmm. Even the dressers were that. Whereas Pop Century is more of that modern, clean lines, a little bit of Disney here and there, but not a whole lot. So that part is there was a big, drastic difference between the two on there.
Yeah.
The double beds, I think the room sizes were probably about the same as Pop.
I think it was the same size, but my point was it felt bigger because the beds were smaller.
It felt a little bigger on that, but at the same time with Pop, they have the Murphy bed that folds up, so I felt like we actually had more space at Pop compared to Art of Animation. But
okay,
just in general, because it would when it popped up and did that. But I mean, it was good. It was a good sized room. The TV was a little older. The dresser was a little older. I mean, the room just seemed older because when were these rooms built?
2012.
Okay. So
it's in need of a little bit of a refurb for sure.
It is, especially since they're doing the other, whatever category you want to put this, value, moderate, whatever. Art of Animation is kind of that weird hybrid.
Should we explain how it's set up?
Yeah,
everybody, just in case you don't know. Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, go for it.
So Art of Animation is technically a value resort. However, there are family suites that run the price of, moderate or even a deluxe room.
Right.
But they have more people. But they can categorize themselves as a value because the Little Mermaid rooms are the same setup rooms you would find at like Pop Century or All Stars or All Stars or Pop Century. So it is a value, but it's more like moderate.
Yeah, I've always felt like Art of Animation is kind of its own category in a way.
Kind of.
It's like a hybrid thing.
There's no sit-down restaurant, which all moderates have at least one sit-down restaurant. And they only have bus transportation, and it's set up almost like exactly like Pop Century, just it's like mirrored each other, except for they have the family suites and the mermaid standard rooms. So that's kind of how it's set up. I agree, though. I think it does need a refurb for sure. And I think that it needs to happen soon because people are going to go, I'm not going to pay more for a Little Mermaid room when it looks like that. And I can go over across the Pop Century and pay like $50 less.
Yeah.
Because they are priced more at Little Mermaid, at Art of Animation.
Yeah. I wonder when they do refurb these, do they keep that theming the same? Because the Little Mermaid rooms are popular.
Yeah, they are.
So people like it. So do they keep... How do they update them would be the question. I'm sure that they will do something different, but that'll be sort of... How they do that will be interesting to me. Compared to Pop Century, how did you like the room?
Which one do I like better?
Yeah.
For myself, I like Pop Century better. More storage, especially under the beds, because Art of Animation beds, you kind of just sit on the ground. There's nothing underneath them. This is still the old style. Little Mermaid rooms had the curtain separating the room from the bathroom area, and just the open closed door, shower curtain. It was all the older style. And having stayed at Pop Century, I realized that the newer style is way more my style.
Yeah.
So Pop Century was way more my style. All the way.
I agree. I actually like the Pop Century room a lot better.
The theming was the only thing I changed. I would want a little bit more theming in the Pop Century rooms.
Yeah,
honestly.
I think that's been an ongoing, I don't know if complaint, but comment about the new style of refurb is that it could use some more theming. But that's something that Disney can add on.
Yeah. And we talked about that
later
before,
too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think the newer in Pop Century, they've got the laminate type flooring or whatever. The Murphy beds give you a little bit of extra space if you want it. The sliding door for the bathroom, at least for us, with our daughter being in there and her taking a nap, was huge because that would cut down. It wouldn't wake her up if we took showers or did certain things in the bathroom. Whereas the Art of Animation suite or the Art of Animation room with the Little Mermaid room, it was just that curtain, like you said, and it just it was a very good, interesting, comparison between new and what was Disney, and I definitely like the newer.
Well, and I was confused too. There were 2 tables in the Little Mermaid room. There was a little tiny table like right underneath the mirror with the seashell.
Yeah.
With the shell chairs. There was another bigger table by the bathroom. It was unnecessary.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, and all the fridge and all the other stuff was underneath the it's like the hutch thing underneath the TV.
Yeah,
so,
I definitely like the fridge had its own area at Pop. There was more storage for the food wise. It utilized space better.
Yeah.
And the newer refurb rooms had tons of like USB inputs, whereas here it was the older room it was a struggle to find outlets and stuff to charge. So that's a little thing. That's something a lot of people, with all our devices nowadays, it's kind of an important thing.
We kind of missed it.
For sure. Yeah. That was one of the first things I noticed. Yeah. So, and the TV was smaller.
Yeah.
And a little older.
Yeah,
and stuff.
but basically, it needs a refurb, and Pop Century did it really well. So.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
You've got to the end of another video. It's good news though. There's plenty more videos. We've got tons of them on Disney. So just subscribe to the channel below, and then you can check out a whole bunch over here or up there or wherever they're at on here. And you just learn a lot more stuff.